Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Happy Flare Day to you, all of you out there on Tuesday, the 14th. Started playing around a little bit and was going to make some changes, and I thought I'd just jump on and record as well. You know what I mean? So I was going to do a couple things. One of the things that I was looking at is my USDTO USDC.E. I'm only getting 16.53% interest, and that's in rFLR rewards, which is great. Not much for fees. So I've got $100 in here. So first thing I was going to do is go look over on Enosys and see what Enosys is paying for the same LP pair. And it looks like for a USDTO and USDCE, they're paying 40%. And so you can see the breakdown here. They're giving 36.74% for rFLR, and they're giving 3.34% in terms of fees. So USDTO, USDCE, right now I've got that money deployed over there, and it's not really paying much. So I'm kind of just cruising around looking. This one I love. I love this one right here. This is paying 250%. 100% in terms of rFLR and 150% in fees. So, you know, I got $100. That's a better deployment of my $100. I could simply swap my USDCE for rFLR and enter to this pool pretty quickly since I already have that. So, you know, I might do that. But if you come up here and you look, there's some other ones that are out here. So you've got you've got FXRP, USDTO, which I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to play with my FXRP in liquidity pools. And I'm not going to play with my rFLR or any of my flare in these pools. It would be new, fresh powder, more so than anything else. So I am on the lookout for some of these that are paying in APS. So this one is paying APS. rFLR, 40% in APS, and then 94% in rFLR. So there's a couple like this one right here is a nice one. Like I said, this one is very intriguing to me because it's paying 250%. It's kind of hard to pass that up. But this one is 332, but most of that is not. It's not rFLR. It's APSIS and then fees. So I wouldn't really play with that one per se. But anyway, if you go back over to my sparkdex, you see I've got $100. Let me get myself out of the picture. Okay. So you see I've got $100 in this USDTO USDC.E. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out because 16.49% is nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. And I thought I would do a recorded video showing you how to remove liquidity. All right, so USDT here, we'll go to pools. And then when you get in pools, you pull up your one you want to do. I'm going to manage that. And I'm going to withdraw the USDT. I'm going to take 100% of the USDTO, USDCE. I'm pulling it out of the sparkdex pool. Hit removed. I'm sure I got to get to the wallet. Bear with me. There's a confirmation in my Bifrost. All right. So it's got that removed. I'm going to look like I'm not going to play with sFLR and Joule. I'll leave that there. I'm going to keep adding to the rFLR and the Spark. This sFLR and rFLR, this is one. I don't have a lot of money in this one. I've got $55 in this one. So let's go look at this because I want to make sure that where I do have some, some of this test money deployed, I'm getting some pretty good returns on it. So the rFLR SPRK, you see the one I'm in right here? I'm in for $14. This all came from my dividends. It's paying 77.55%, 26% is in terms of Spark. 22% is rFLR, and then there's fees of 15%, flare drops, and delegation rewards. So I'm in that one. I'm okay with that one because I'm just redeploying capital. Of course, I'm in this one, which is paying me out in terms of stair staking and Joule token. And there goes this S flare, wrap flare. I'm in it at 18%. So I entered into this pool when it was a lot higher in terms of paying a lot more in terms of rFLR rewards. So, 18% is actually it's 6% and only 0.63% fees. So I'm going to pull out of that one too. I could find a better deployment for my S flare and wrap flare. Like if I just look up here alone, like on this site, and go up to S flare, search by the LPs that are in S flare. And then this should pull up all the ones with S flare. So here we go. So see, I've got, I could go this route, which I won't, but I could. I could go this route. I can go flare ETH, right? So, but I'm at the lowest. I'm at 18%. I'm at the lowest of all those options, you see. So I'm going to pull this and redeploy that S flare. I'm not sure where I will redeploy the S flare. It's not a lot. But like, even if I just put it up here, if I swapped it for size flare, I'd be earning 88% in terms of rFLR rewards and 2% in fees. So definitely need to find a different home for that capital. So I'm going to go into this one, and I'm going to hit view, and then go up here where it shows I'm in it right here. I'm going to hit manage, and I'm going to pull up out of that one. I'm going to pull out of that one. So let's go withdraw again, 100%. So I'm removing my liquidity from that pool. All right, so now I am out of that pool. I'm out of that pool. So I'm left in rFLR Spark and S flare Joule, okay? And if you go over to stake, I'm staking Spark and I'm earning Spark and rFLR. So let's go to dividends. Let's check on my dividends. And you see I've got some stuff to claim. So I've got 40 rFLR and 61, almost $2.50. So let's go ahead and claim all those. All right, in the wallet, so I'm going to claim. I say, okay, they're all gone now. I've claimed those all. So I'm good there. And now that I've claimed these rFLR and these Spark, let's go put those guys back in the farm so we can circle compound it right here. All right, click on view. And then right here's the one I'm in. Right there you can see there's 7,500 rFLR for daily rewards and 6,000 Spark. I'm going to hit manage. Then I'm going to go add to it. And I'm going to go do it based on all of my Spark. So there goes my Spark, 61. So let's go ahead and add liquidity. I got a lot more rFLR than I thought I had in my wallet, but I think that's because I did an emissions claim. That's a lot more than I thought I had. Sorry about the delay. Okay, so I've now added to my position in the rFLR Spark. Now you can see my liquidity is now $18. See that? Instead of the $14. So I just circle compounded it. I do the same thing when I claim my rewards for S flare and Joule. So if we go to the S flare and Joule, my deposits, you see I can view that. I've got 489 of those to claim. So I'm going to go ahead and claim those because I'm going to take those Joule tokens and I'm going to supply those tokens over on Kinetic so I can compound that interest back in again. I'm already earning 51%, 50% in terms of these Joule rewards. See, they're gone now. And then I'm going to go to Kinetic and I'm going to take my Joule tokens and I'm going to supply those Joule tokens and earn more rFLR rewards off of those Joule tokens. So I just took my interest earned, compounding that interest back into the protocols in order to earn more yield on that. And that yield I would be earning would now be in the form of rFLR. So let's go over here to Joule token. Okay. And then see, I've got some Joule token available. So I'm going to do max. I'm going to supply those. And I'm supplying those in the ISO markets. So you got to, when you come, you hit on supply borrow, you go find the Joule, and you see it's paying 23.64% interest. That's payable in rFLR. See, down here it tells you that. Analyze projected return rewarded in rFLR for supplying the asset. So for supplying my Joule tokens, they're paying me another 23.64%. So I'm going to go ahead and supply, approve and supply. It's coming in my wallet. So let me go ahead and claim that or clear that. And so now I've taken my Joule tokens that I've earned over on sparkdex for farming over there and took them over here. And now I'm supplying them in Kinetic, the Kinetic protocol, and I'm earning another 23% payable in terms of rFLR. So again, that's all about compounding, circle compounding back into the protocol, reinvesting back into the protocol, stacking, if you will. All right, so 1,270 have been supplied. All right, so I'm good there. I'm going to, as you guys know, I'm going to get down a little bit on this SciWef. So SciWef is like SciFlare. It's paying 219% interest right now, paying them in rFLR tokens, as you can see here. rFLR tokens, 2 million a month. So I'm going to get down and get some more of this. In order to get that, you got to swap for it in sparkdex. So if you go to sparkdex, depending on what you have, let me reconnect my wallet. I'm going to swap something for that to go into that pool. But I am going to also redeploy some assets. But for now, I have an option. I can go over here and, play around probably with this rFLR USDT0 for 250%. So let's go ahead and try that one. I should have some rFLR and USDTO. Let me see. Let me just make sure I've got rFLR. I do have quite a bit of rFLR. And do I have USDTO? I do have I got $50 in USDTO. I've got $48. Okay. So let's just do this. Let's do this. Let's go to Enosys. I'm going to go get my piece of this pie, this rFLR USDTO, because it's paying quite a bit of rFLR rewards as well as paying fees. So let's go over to Enosys, and we're going to do 100% of the USDT. Yeah, 100%. Okay, perfect. Okay. And then we are going to come down. And we're going to create a position. So you can create a position depending on where you're at in terms of aggressive, conservative, full. And you can't see this because the screen is kind of big right now. But as you adjust this, this will adjust down here, right? So here's your range in conservative. Here's your range, very tight range in aggressive. Full, you got the full position, and you can customize it. So for now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go full because I really want an open position, or I can go conservative. Conservative would lock me down to about 2.4 something on the high side. So I'll just go conservative for now, create my position. Should get a confirmation in my wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in some of that 250% that is being offered up in terms of rFLR rewards on Enosys for the rFLR and the USDT0 pair. So I'm going to jump in that one. Essentially, it's still working. You can see there. And then while that's working, let me go back to, let's go to the token. Let's go connect. So it is that time. Today is Tuesday, so I'm a little bit behind on claiming some rewards, but I did that intentionally so I can kind of record it. So let's go ahead and claim our rewards. This is a 2 epochs I'm claiming for on this one. So here we go, getting the confirmation in the wallet. All right, so that's good there. So I've got my flare drops, my flare FTSO rewards, and then I'm going to come and get my available rFLR and emissions. You see emissions? Here's my available funds to withdraw, 2,800. So let's go ahead and grab all those so we can start earning our FTSO and our flare drops on that too. Let's go ahead and snatch all those. We've got all those. So this is one of the reasons why I don't necessarily do a lot of my flare in sFLare. And it's because, if I want to do something with these tokens, like I just claimed 2,800 of these things, right? I got a wrap balance of 53.96. So this is delegation rewards that I just got. Now I could certainly just send it right back and keep going. Or sometimes I want to take some of these and come play around in some of these pools, come play around in some of these pools. And that's to me, the benefit of not using sFLare, of delegating them and wrapping them myself, because I get to choose what I want to do with, with the rewards. When I get the rewards, like I get to choose to whether I want to delegate those or do I want to use those in another protocol, right? Like I'm going to do. I just showed you that I was going to jump in on the 250%. Let's see, it doesn't look like that one took. So let's try it again. Conservative, 0.3%. Create a position. Let's see if it takes this time. It is taken this time. Good. So you'll get a chance to see. Oops. All right. The problem is I use too much flare. I need to leave some flare for gas. And actually, this shows flare FLR. And if we look at the initial one showed wrap flare. So that's the problem I'm having right now, is that I don't have enough flare. So I need to swap out some of my wrap flare for regular flare. So I don't know, we had, $50, I think. Something like that. Let's try 3,000. Yeah, something like that. All right, so let's unwrap these. We'll unwrap these tokens so that we can put them in an LP pair over on Enosys. And there's definitely some things about Enosys that I really like. Some things that they do a little differently. All right, so we should be good now. So let's go back to this pool. Hopefully you guys can see these. Okay, there we go. Let's go find that one that was sitting around 250% or so. Where is it at? Should be wrap flare. This is it right here. Wrap flare USDTL. You see it says wrap flare, but then you look at the logo, that's not wrap flare, so that's flare. So when you click on it, it's calling for FLR USDTL. So anyway, let's go conservative. Let's go 100% of our USDTO. That's our range there. And let's approve the USDTO. So this should be coming up in my wallet right now, which it is. Okay. So we're approving position, USDTO. We should have another confirmation coming for creating position now with the LP itself. I approve the USDTO. Now I just approve flare. So now we should have a position, which we do. You see, liquidity, $112. And here's the USDTO flare LP pair. And so I'll start earning some fees, some delegation rewards, flare drops, and rFLR for my participation in the wrap flare USDTO. So, so you see I'm in there. I've also got a position already inside of Enosys. I have an active position already. As soon as it catches up, now I have two wrap. What is this? So you see I've got I was already kind of playing around in that one, it looks like. So I've got some unclaimed fees. So here we go. So this is the same one I just went into. Look, it's the same one. So actually I've already was in that one. I didn't realize it. I knew I was in one, but I didn't realize which one I was in. But anyway, it comes with unclaimed fees. So I get Flare and USDTL. So let's go ahead and claim those. So we claim those fees. I'm getting this confirmation in my wallet. So I'm earning, so I got some Flares, some USDTO. Got to claim both positions. All right, there's my delegation rewards. So let's go ahead and claim those delegation rewards because I've got Flare and an LP pool, and Enosys is kind enough to wrap that in the background for me and delegate it to an FTSO provider so I can still earn some delegation rewards. Very kind of them to do that. And this is one of the few protocols that do that, which is pretty cool. Claim your flare drops. So I've got some flare drops to claim in here as well. So let's go ahead and claim those. And because I've been participating in this protocol, I already got my rFLR rewards. I already got those. Those already came and went. So so there you have it. You should be able to do that pretty easily. But, you know, again, I took that position because of this right here, 249%. APY, 100% of that is in rFLR, 149% of that is in fees. So I'm all about that. That works out well for me. So I'll keep that going. But again, you know, I mentioned to you that I like to have the flexibility to do some different things. So I like getting my delegation rewards because I may decide I want to go back into a different farm and participate. Like we go back over here, we look at these farms. You can see there's some pretty high earning opportunities. Plus I've got Sice Flare as well. So I could go to Sice Flare, I could go here and I could swap. So in order to be able to earn the rFLR rewards on Cyclo, you got to swap into that SciWeth or Sice Flare. You got to swap into it. So in this case, I've got about 46 bucks left. I could swap my Flare for that, but again, I don't really like swapping and getting rid of my Flare. I usually like to try to bring some fresh powder into the equation and just play with the fresh powder. But I've got 50 bucks of USDCE. So maybe what I'll do is I'll swap that 50 bucks and put that over on SciWeth. That way I'm not necessarily giving away my FLR tokens. I don't really like that idea. But like I said, sometimes I'll use those tokens for situations like this to participate and to take advantage. But I would prefer not to swap it. If I had to put it in an LP pool or provide it as collateral, different story, but I prefer not to swap my Flare. So anyway, so I'm SciWeth in. I've added another $49. You can see, let's go back over to Cyclo Finance, and I'll show you why I am so giddy about that, because there's 219% here on interest that can be earned for SciWeth and 2 million monthly rFLR rewards. So there's only 386 eligible holders of these tokens. So that means there's some pretty good rewards coming off of this participation. And then it also shows you your rewards, like it shows you what you're actually accruing. Like for my SciWeth, it shows me I'm accruing 1,300 tokens. For this one, I'm accruing 1035 tokens. So right now I'm estimated to get 2,300, almost 2,400 tokens. And if you look down here, you can kind of see all the people that are participating, but there's only 386 people so far participating. So there's a pretty big opportunity, pretty big chance to benefit and share these rewards. So I'm going to probably heavy up a little more, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I'm probably going to heavy up a little more in Cyclo Finance. So we saw Kinetic, we saw Enosys. Obviously, F assets are out there. Again, just to remind everyone, if you are contributing collateral to F assets, this particular one is Songbird, and you are providing collateral for AU, the AU pool for sure. AU, see, I'm in that pool. right? You are earning, when you provide the collateral, you are earning FXRP, obviously. You are earning Songbird, because AU actually wraps and does provide you with rewards. So you're earning the FXRP, you're earning the wrap Songbird, and then you're earning rFLR as well for participating. Okay. Same thing over here in the F asset world on the Flare side. I'm in one of those pools as well, and I'm earning. Here's my rewards: $4.32 so far. I'm earning, because I'm providing this collateral, I'm also earning delegation rewards, and then we're still waiting to hear about if there's going to be any rFLR incentivizing the participation in collateral pools. So. But that's F assets. That is Enosys. We saw and claimed, and we conquered, and we finished out on Cyclo. It's all about Cyclo. So, all right, guys, let me know if you got any questions. But I thought I would do this with you. I am going to go to Kinetic, and I forgot to do this. Meant to show you guys this. Oops, let me get out of there. Sorry. Connect my wallet. Let's go to wallet connect. Okay. So remember, I earned Joule token over on Kinetic, and I'm circle compounding that back in. I think I showed you where I went and supplied it. So I did the Joule supply, and then I did the same thing on sparkdex. I went in and compounded my Spark dividends back into another pool. So there you have it. That's where we're at, guys. Thanks so much.